Thank you to all of you for braving what is being called by the national media biblical or reigns of biblical proportions. The parking lot filled up quickly because I'm building an ark out at the back side of it. Thank you, Hilda. You're an extraordinary mom, and what's more, you are mom to an unbelievable young lady, and so thank you for sharing part of our day with us. My name is David Ervin, and I have the great privilege of working for the Resource Exchange. I also have the great privilege of talking a little bit today about what not only today is about, but what the Resource Exchange is about. I'm delighted to welcome you to our 4th annual Building the Dream Luncheon. It is impossible not to be humbled by the interest of so many in our work and inspired by the extraordinary people who bring us together in common cause this afternoon. Ubuntu. Ubuntu. I am because we are. The word and the phrase into which we translate it has been commandeered by some of our world's great thinkers, contemporary philosophers who perhaps vision a world defined by community, by its humanity. Today we commandeer the word. We use it as a looking glass, a prism through which we view our world, the TRE world, the world of people who live with developmental disabilities. I am because we are. It is powerful in its elegance and simplicity. Ubuntu asserts that society, not a transcendent being, gives human beings their humanity. It is all of us that give rise to any of us. We cannot exist on our own except by the embrace of our community, of our society. Renowned author Michael Onyebuchi Eze conceptualizes Ubuntu as follows. A person is a person through other people. We affirm one's humanity through recognition of an other in his or her uniqueness. This idealism suggests to us that humanity is not embedded in my person solely as an individual. Humanity is a quality we owe to each other. We create each other, and if we belong to each other, we participate in our creations. We are because you are, and since you are, I am. I am because we are. I am because all of you are. I am because of the nearly 3,000 children and adults that we serve are. I am because our 145 staff are. It is all interconnected. It is humanity's tapestry, and we are all woven into the reality that we collectively fashion. In the 1980s, one of the intellectual disability industry's lasting giants, Wolf Wolfensberger, formulated the concept of social role valorization. This concept, based on the idea that we are predisposed to assigning value to other people who are different from us, offers us the everlasting obligation to shift our orientation, to reject the devaluation of people, and instead recognize that every human makes up the constellation of humanity, and that without all of us, none of us stand. This is Ubuntu. In my own life and my cultural DNA, I embrace tikkun olam, Hebrew for repairing or healing the world. Through this lens, we commit ourselves to social justice, to an understanding that individual actions can affect the fate of the world as a whole. I can, on my own, impact the world. I can be, as each and all of us can be, an architect of perfecting the world. The intersection of these concepts is profound, a powerful nexus that TRE embraces in every way and at every level. I am but for the embrace of the community of which I am part, and I am on my own the architect of that very community. Ubuntu. How does this manifest for you? For me, it is manifest on the impact of Tim on my life, 6'4" Tim, who happened to have autism and who happened to live in a Rockville, Maryland group home at which I had the privilege of working seemingly a lifetime ago. Tim, who happened to, lacking the language to do it verbally, express himself physically, and yet who taught me so much about the capacity of every human to love and to be loved. Tim, with whom I shared the planet but for a brief moment in time, but whose impact on me defines me in ways that transcend explanation. It is manifest in the influence of Harold on my view of our world. Young Harold, whose complete and utter lack of verbal skills were more than made up for in the expressiveness of his chocolate brown eyes and the unbridled joy of his larger-than-life smile. Harold, whose dependence was complete and without exception, but on whom I could depend without fail to brighten my days. Harold, who in an unremarkable time, on a day very long ago, in a dark place whose only price of admission was the presence of his developmental disability, died as I watched on, helpless. It is personified in the presence of Christopher, whose effect on me lives on beyond his untimely passing. Christopher, whose passion for life exceeded my own, whose willingness to experience life at its fullest and purest, and whose power to create community can still be measured today. Christopher, whose 100-yard sprint across Memorial Park, simply to hug my wife, who he somehow recognized from that distance, is a reflection of the joy in life's simple things. It fuels TRE's perennial journey towards excellence. It creates the impetus for the development of service lines like the Developmental Disabilities Health Center, Health Home to nearly 450 kids and adults. Like New Heights Behavioral Health, new in 2013, that offers comprehensive behavior supports across the lifespan. Like Community Resource Navigation, which supports people for whom Colorado's waiting list for services is a seemingly endless barrier. I am because of the 25% of our babies and toddlers and their unbelievable families that we support in early intervention who will graduate from TRE's services and never need another special support. And I am because of the 75% of these kids and their families who will need support for the rest of their lives. I am because Jay is. Jay, who you'll meet shortly and who gives powerful voice to the desires and capacity of the people we so proudly serve. They offer a worldview that inspires our work. They offer us powerful opportunities to excel and to achieve, to build precious independence. I am because they are. I am everything that I am because of the people in my world. The people I've known, Tim, Harold, and Christopher. The people I know, Sheila, Jacob, and Daniel. Jay, Hilda, and Kristen. It is all of you, and it is each of you. And you are because we are. You see, it requires all of us, and each of us. We are but a piece of the constellation to which our contributions are innumerable. We can change the world, and we can be changed by the world around us. All of us with a critical role to play. If any of us is absent from the fulfillment of our role in our universe, it is lesser for that absence. Every person counts. I am because we are. This is Ubuntu. Thank you for being part of this magical day. Thank you for taking your place in our tapestry. We are grateful beyond words.